Okay, so one of my favorite channels to watch is AJ Plus America. It's the American English version. Well, not the American, but English version. All right. So, and Newsbroke is part of AJ Plus. And Francesca Ferrantino, I love her, and the group that does Newsbroke. So they just put out a video about our billionaires, good people, and it's an awesome piece, and I made a comment, and that comment is that there is no such thing as a good billionaire. There is no such thing as a good multimillionaire or even a millionaire. The thing is that there is no self-made billionaire or a millionaire, and those who actually have ethics and principles who try to start a business. They don't. The reason they fail is because you have the billionaires and the millionaires making sure that you don't succeed, and the only way you succeed is by doing crimes against the general population, to cheat, steal, rob, pillage, and plunder. That's how it works. It is inherent in the system. There is no way to make $100 million and $1 billion without doing that. And when you have hundreds of millions and billions, you can you can do that by buying the politicians, by investing into media, whether through commercials, to misrepresent, to spin, to misdirect, and to basically commit crimes. And the irony is that there are laws against that. The irony is that organized crime, which is we all think of organized crime as bad, but the thing is that those in power, those who are in governments, are organized crime. Those that are the heads and the ones in power with the parties are organized crime. So there are laws on the books for that, which have never been taken away. And so the whole thing is a scam. It's a con. And and the Libertarian Party is one of the and the conservatives and libertarians are along with the liberals are the ones keeping these criminals in power, that keep pushing these criminals into power, and it's because they all want the opportunity to be able to do that, to be the millionaires and the billionaires, because it makes life materialistically easier, and it gives power. It gives them power. That's why there is that whole crap about it. Aspirations true aspirations are like, me wanting to be able to have interstellar space flight so that I can go explore and learn new things. Those are true aspirations. Wanting to get an education so you can cure cancer, diabetes. Those are true aspirations. The aspirations that all these insane nut jobs keep pushing, that is materialistically oriented, which is about giving wealth and power and influence. That's not an aspiration. That's a destructive force. So, I've made a video before about where compassion and empathy and critical thinking comes from, and people who haven't gone through it can only in a surface way understand what true love of people in the world and the planet is. And so let me repeat because I know what poverty is. I experienced it personally when I was before I was 7.5 and got adopted by my parents in America. I experienced poverty, destructive, harmful poverty firsthand. From the day I could walk as a child, as a not an adolescent. What is it when you're? As a toddler, I had to go. I had to go help my family, my birth family, and go out and do odd jobs and many other things in order to help my family. I experienced classism as kids from the wealthier parts used to come around and start stone fights with me, and the poor, and they would come and start throwing stones at us, and we would fight back by throwing stones at them. I experienced depression and anger. I experienced bigotry at a very young age. My own mother tried to drown me, my birth mother. That was despondent. Depression on her part, because she struggled every second of every minute to try and just get us the basic needs necessary. She ended up killing herself after that. She committed suicide. I know what it is to come to the United States and face racism. From the kids and from adults who are white. I know what it is to be to have an onslaught from the so-called news media and entertainment the racism and bigotry, the misogyny, because I experienced it. Hell, I even bought it. Bought some of the obscene stupidity, and I said ignorant things to my fellow black Americans. You know, the fact that I have to say black Americans when we should be using Americans, our fellow members of community. That is a destructive narrative, a separation, a division. And all this, and in every bit of media and social circles, we keep having to use brown, going after brown minorities or black or native. It's that sort of divisiveness shouldn't be in our lexicon. That we separate ourselves as being Americans, or Puerto Ricans, or Chinese, or Japanese, or French, or German, or Swedish, or Venezuelan, or Australian. We shouldn't have any of this. But that is the structure. And it is because of the wealthy. Because it is their establishment. It is their agenda. It is their purpose. And generational, those who possess money, power, and influence and wealth, they're the ones who drive it. And the longer that these generations exist, the more insane they become, to the point that their driven narrative and their agenda gives them a more warped sense. And they carry that disease and infection to the rest of us. So that we do use black and brown. So that and it comes in our lexicon, and we are divided by that. So that we cannot see the commonality that we all have, that we cannot understand that we are all Homo sapiens. And when we use the term animal, we divide ourselves from nature, which we are a part of. Another divisiveness. This is a self-destructive, nihilistic formula in why we have criminality, and why we can never have utopia until we change it, until we understand it, which is why education is important. This is why we must have the most pure education that we can possibly get. We are see, like, that's another thing. Why do we use human? That's why misogyny exists. That's why patriarchy exists. Because there's another division. Why aren't we using Homo sapien? Instead, we use the word human. Man being the predominance in that term, human. Men cannot make babies. We need our women. And again, women, men. We are Homo sapiens. We are not human. We are not women. We are Homo sapiens. We share a commonality. It is a old wise adage that if you cut us, we bleed, and all blood is red. That is true, whether you're a man or female. And again, female. Why is so? Let us come together and understand that we have to start thinking critically. We have to start wanting to evolve beyond the self-centered, destructive behavior and the narrative and agenda push by those who want to rule. We have to stop doing that. And money, property ownership, that is part of it. You know, there's a from the Disney movie. Was it God? Was it I think Pocahontas was the name of the movie, but Vanessa Williams sang the main theme song from that movie. I think it's "Color of the Wind" or something like that. It says it all. You know, you think you are. It starts out. The song starts out. Oh, you think you own whatever land you land on, and and everything is something that you should take. Anyways, I think a lot of people know what I'm talking about, but that should be our core ideology, in that we should take care of ourselves by taking care of our community, by extension our community, and our community should take care of our home, which is the planet. And that we must stop allowing these narratives and agendas to cloud our evolution, our enlightenment. So do me a favor and check out Newsbroke. Watch that video about billionaires being good, because they're not. Millionaires are not good. And until we can accept that money, ownership, is what garners power for them, then we will never have anything that will give us a future that we all want. Liberty, that whole concept that is freedom and liberty, That's a mirage. You can't be free and you can't have liberty if you buy and accept a system where we are wage slaves and literal slaves and commodities and and uh, and book and mercenaries under the rulership of those who do not have the better interest of us all collectively in mind.